Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. To my left, I've got Wads. Good afternoon, Wads.
Afternoon, Dan. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Excited for Forest to be back in action. Obviously, FA Cup's a tournament we did very well in last year, so yeah, it's good to be back playing in the cup.
Yeah, and we got two cup games in the week as well. Starting with Blackpool tomorrow. We all got memories of last season with Blackpool away with how well we did, and I know it's different from last season to this season. So, how are you feeling going into it?
Well, yeah, the 4-1 last season was yet another real highlight of the best year I've ever had supporting Forest, and yeah, it was another moment of realization that we could definitely get promoted here, and yeah, obviously we did, and it was one of the big games that got us there. Brilliant performance all around. With Jono scoring 2 goals, great ball from McKenna to Surridge. The other one, can't remember who scored the other one. I think it was an own goal. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's a fantastic game, but we've got more of a reason to be winning this time. But now being a Premier League club, Blackpool are struggling in the Championship. So yeah, it'll be interesting playing against them again. I mean, it is nice to be playing Championship teams in cup games now. You know, I used to not like it, but now I like it because it's a change from the Premier League. And obviously, I've played 2 Premier League teams in the League Cup. You know, we're going to play Wolves, we played Spurs, but ideally, I like to play someone different in the early rounds of the cup anyway. But yeah, it'll be interesting to it's quite rewarding really when you go away to play a Championship side or even at home. You know, having been promoted, you're now a higher division than them. It is enjoyable that, but yeah, it really should be a game we're winning. If we don't, it's a bit embarrassing, but at the same time, it's not hugely bad because we just need to focus on the league more than anything. But we don't really want to be on the end of a FA Cup upset, really.
And that's the thing with the FA Cup upset, with it being the FA Cup. I mean, imagine off the cup, you can't knock it to a fair.
No, I love the FA Cup. You know, you're just seeing teams of all levels playing each other. You do get obviously some same league matchups, but some of the historic runs we've had in the past. You know, Lincoln City a few years ago getting to the quarterfinals, playing big teams as well, getting there. Obviously, what we did last season was incredible. We didn't have any easy games. Even Huddersfield are one of the best sides in the Championship with us last season. So yeah, there was no easy games last season at all, and yeah, hopefully we can do something else this season in the cup.
Definitely. I mean, we're in one quarter final of the cup already. I mean, we got our first league away win on Wednesday, which will be a massive relief for the players, even though we have won in the League Cup away. I mean that will be confidence and for the players going into this match, even though on paper we should be beating Blackpool.
Yeah, we definitely should. I know Blackpool just got Josh Bowler back. He won't even be able to play against us the first game, but that'll be a huge boost for their survival hopes. I know that they're struggling this season in the Championship, which isn't a huge surprise. But yeah, I think it's a good move for Bowler anyway. You know, he can actually develop in a country he's used to. I do think the experience of playing with some world-class players and playing in Greece would have helped him, even though he didn't have the best time there. Just to be in that environment, I think will help him. But yeah, it's a good move for him. But yeah, I've never ever known Forest play 2 cup games in a row in both cups. Like it's just never happened before. We've never got far enough to have to play back-to-back games in the cups. You know, we're normally at the League Cup by like November time, but no, to be playing a League Cup game in January is a real achievement for us. And to be playing 2 cup games there, we really should be winning. I know Wolves are a totally different kind of team to Blackpool, but it's a huge opportunity. You know, they're a good team, but they're arguably doing worse than us currently. So it's a huge chance for us to reach a cup semi-final, which has bit of a pinch yourself moment, really, to see us that far in a cup game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the other good thing is now don't have to worry about the lead to next week. We've got two cup games. We can sort of not rest the first team because they had three really big games, but we can sort of swap and change the team around, which and it will, and if we do win the next two games as well, it will just be that momentum that helped us last season as well with the momentum. I know talking about last season a lot, but the momentum from the cup ones helped us last season. So if we win the next two games, we've been fourth one and the semi-finals of the League Cup.
Yeah, like I always used to think, let's just rotate players in the cup. Let's use some different players here. But I like it how we've finally got a manager that cares about these cup games and uses them as the momentum, but also just wants to try and go as far as he can. And I really believe that if we hadn't have gone as far as we did in the cup last year, maybe we wouldn't have got promoted, because I think we still would have had a very good season in the league. But I really think the buzz and the confidence we would have got from, we were lucky in one respect to be playing so many big teams in the cup. It's not like we had an easy run to get to the quarterfinals. We had to play the cup holders, the most successful team in the FA Cup in Arsenal, and then obviously Liverpool, who got to the Champions League final in the same season, and then a team that we beat in the playoff final as well. So it was no easy feat at all, and we had to beat three really good teams, and then obviously, now they lost to Liverpool and we were unlucky to, and it really helped us out. And I think it's the same again this season. I think us getting to the League Cup quarterfinals, and we've now got a winnable game. Unlike Liverpool last year, we really should be getting to a semi-final, which the fact that I'm now in a situation where I'll be a bit disappointed if we don't get to a semi-final is a sign of how far we've come. And, Blackpool, I suppose it doesn't really matter if we don't go out far in the FA Cup because of how we've done in the League Cup, but I want us to go as far as possible, obviously. So, Blackpool's a very nice way to kick it off, hopefully. So, we should really be getting a good result.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, with that win on Wednesday and that, I mean, it was just brilliant to see that you think on Wednesday. I mean, yeah, fair enough, second half weren't pretty, but I mean, I always said now we got that first win and that clean sheet with that win, it will just build us with confidence that we got that win and we got that clean sheet with it.
Yeah, honestly, it was huge, massive result. To win away from home in the Premier League, first time in 23 years, was huge. It was just nice to be able to get that pressure off our back that we still hadn't won away from home this season in the league. And yeah, it was against Southampton, who looked like a real mess, but it was still a grind. It was still tough for us to go and win, and we won, and that's all that matters. And we beat a relegation rival in the process. I think Southampton's probably going to go down the way they're going. But yeah, it doesn't matter. We won, and that's all that matters. We got that off our back, and hopefully we can continue now to do all right away from home. And the run of games we got coming up in the league as well. I'm really optimistic for the next month or so, because we've got 3 very favourable games in the league, and then we've got 2 cup games that we really could be genuinely winning, particularly the Blackpool one. It's really optimistic, and this run hopefully can build confidence more and continue to make us into a team. And if that tough start to the season that we had the first month or two, well, more than that, it took us until about November to really start to click into gear. If that is what it was going to take for us to become a team, then it will hopefully be worth taking those, painful games at the start of the season for us to end up having a good season. And I still think a good season is just survival, but who knows, we could finish higher than that if we can really kick on the second half of the season and use the cups to our advantage as well. So really exciting times hopefully for Forest.
And that's the thing, because we are starting to click. And there was a stat that went around, I think it was yesterday or when after the match on Wednesday, saying that since the Brighton game, we only lost 2 games since, and
Mm,
Bright since we drew against Brighton. I know we had the World Cup and that,
yeah.
um, but yeah, we only lost against Arsenal and Man U away, and we kept quite a few clean sheets and won quite a few games as well, which things are starting to show that we are still
Mm.
getting there.
Yeah. I mean, like every game really, besides West Ham, until we played Brighton in October, was pretty awful in some regard. And, you know, Cooper signed that contract after one of the worst games I can remember from Forest, that Leicester match. And we got a point against Villa, which I think at the time we probably would have wanted to have got more because Villa weren't looking good at all under Gerrard then. And I think everyone was just happy just not to lose a game and to see just improved performance of any kind. And that's what we saw. So I was happy with it at the time. And I think it was, yeah, we were very defensive in that Villa game, but we stopped the rut and that's all that mattered. We were obviously, it didn't immediately kick off because we lost to Wolves after that, but we were unlucky to. You know, I didn't watch that game properly because it wasn't streamed or anything. But yeah, from what I could tell, Forest weren't very good, but we should have really got a point from it because we missed that penalty from Brennan, and their penalty, from what I remember, was a bit questionable. From what I remember of it, so yeah, it was a frustrating game, that Wolves game, and particularly now that they've continued to struggle, should have really been beating them or getting a point at Molineux. I would have took it, but then I definitely agree. From Brighton onwards, you know, Brighton have had a fantastic season, and I think they've got a really good team, a really good manager, and to go there and get a point was huge for us, and to not even concede either. First half, we were being a bit battered, but we didn't concede. And the second half, I thought we were fantastic. You know, Yatesy put in a hell of a shift, as he always does, but he literally had battle scars all over him afterwards. Brilliant to see. And then obviously we went and beat Liverpool, which was a gigantic confidence boost. I don't think we should have any disappointment in losing to Arsenal, even as heavily as that, because Arsenal, you know, they're looking like a whole new team this season. Then obviously Brentford's a bit frustrating. We should have really been winning it. I think the referee was obviously a Brentford fan that day. You know, the confidence of beating Spurs in the cup, the win against Palace, you know, we've seen it's really improved. And we shouldn't have any faith, any disappointment in losing to Man United either. You know, Man United are Man United, so, you know, and drawing with Chelsea, you know, the fact that we walked away from that being a bit disappointed that we didn't beat Chelsea. And then obviously we get a result against Southampton. So if we look at it like that, since Brighton, we've only lost to 2 teams and they were both away to the biggest teams in the league. And we've kept a few clean sheets along the way. So I think it's a real sign that we are now becoming very much a team. And, you know, the fact we've added Scarpa into the mix, he looks like a top talent for us. It's very exciting times, hopefully, for the rest of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I was just going for the fixtures since Cooper's contract. We lost 3 games from 13.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm only
It's
that much
brilliant.
there.
No, hopefully not. Yeah, but based on what we've seen the last few months since that Brighton game, or really since Villa to some degree, you know, the fact we've now got a nice run of games coming up or favourable run of games, none of them are easy. It's really optimistic, and you know, we should really be going to Blackpool and getting quite an easy win. Only, you know, we can't be cocky or complacent about it. We've got to go there and win, but you know, we really are more superior to them, if we're being real. Wolves, it's a 100% winnable game. Then it's like Leicester, Leeds, obviously at the start of next month, and then Bournemouth. You know, some huge matches coming up. Fulham, even, you know, Fulham are doing fantastic this year, but I don't think that's a game where we should write it off. You know, we should definitely go there and try and get something from it or win. But I mean, I'll take a point away at Fulham, if I'm honest, the way they're playing this season. But the rest of them, really winnable games for sure.
I mean, it'd be nice to see Scarpa. Hopefully, he gets his first start tomorrow. I mean, when he came on Wednesday, he's done. You could see his quality. Getting that quality.
Got to get it in.
Yeah, we've seen his quality like straight away with some of them passes and how he was playing, and given the game time and his match sharpening setting up, he's just going to be a big signing for us. And to get him on a free transfer as well, it's even more of a coup.
No, it's incredible, really. Like how far we've come. We all make a big thing of it, but with good reason. The players we were signing, like just you can't say last year anymore, but like the last summer of like 2021, we were signing some pretty awful players at times, especially the year before, and now we're signing the best player in Brazil based off awards. It's incredible. What we see from him already, his personality, he seems to be very, very at home already, which is a huge boost. Seems to be getting on very well with Lodi and players like that. I just think it's a huge boost for the squad, for the dressing room. And I think Scarpa can be seen as one of our best players already. But I'll be playing it against Blackpool. I want to see him start as soon as possible. Let's give him a go straight away. He'll probably play quite a few games then, but we want to get him on the pitch. So let's let him let loose and ping some of those beautiful balls left, right, and centre. Get him on corners, get him on free kicks. Very exciting.
You mentioned it earlier. Would you keep that team from Wednesday, or would you do that? There are changes here and there.
I'd probably play a very similar team to what we saw at Blackburn. Blackburn was a strong team, really. Like, we didn't even see Hennessy in, but that was probably because Dino couldn't play against United, so he just thought, let's just play him here. I think we probably will see Hennessy tomorrow. But I think really, besides changing the goalkeeper, I think it could be a very similar team to what we saw against Blackburn. Obviously, without Lingard, probably could see Scarpa in place of him. I don't expect him to be playing like, Cafu or like some of the under 21 players, like we're seeing, Canate or someone like that. No disrespect to them, but I think he'll play a strong side or a strongish side with a little bit of rotation here or there. Maybe O'Brien could come in. Nico, for instance. So just rotating from the bench, not like from the depths of the squad. I think you'll see maybe Surridge or someone, but I don't think he'll play a weak team. I think it'll be a strong team, but obviously with a bit of rotation in there. Obviously last season we played strong teams against all the teams in the cup, but they were all at home against big teams. So I think it would have made sense to do it. But we're going away to Blackpool, just with Blackburn. We're now in a division higher than them, and we should be able to get away with making, 3 or 4 changes to the squad and still comfortably winning. And if we can go away to Blackburn, who were third in the league at the time, who don't even appear to be playing that well, saying they're third in the league, we should be able to go away to Blackpool and win even more easily, technically.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see the under-21 team tonight and done it in to see what sort of. I mean, we're expecting it to be Swan for both of them anyway, but you might get the gist of if some of the younger ones might travel up with the squad, but not make it 20-man squad as the 29, 18 side.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we might see a handful of them maybe on the bench, like maybe Billy Brewster, because he played against Stoke in that friendly start at the first half, and he played really well. Maybe like Oliver Hammond, maybe one of those two. I'd say that they're 2 of our more senior youth players. Don't know whether they'll ever make it at Forest like long term, but they look really good talents, and maybe you could see that one of those lads on the bench. But yeah, I don't think Cooper will disrespect the cup or disrespect Blackpool. I think he'll play a strong team, similar to what he did against Blackburn. I looked at that Blackburn starting 11 or Forest starting 11 against Blackburn. I thought, this is a strong team here for same playing a championship side away in the cup, and in the relegation zone at the time. Okay, fair play. We're not just disrespecting the competition, and I don't think he will do it again either. tomorrow, I think it would be a strong team, but with a bit of rotation, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. Whereas Blackburn, they changed a completely different level, if I remember it right. And I think by the end of the match, it showed quality, like
Quality.
quality.
Nah, yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. I think yes, it was Blackburn's reserves, but I think it just shows that I wouldn't say reserves, but slightly rotated side can go to a team that were in the whole football pyramid only like 6 places below us and beat them 4-1. So it was a real statement.
Yeah, definitely. What's your score predictions?
I think I don't want to disrespect Blackpool or anything, but they won't have Josh Bowler or anyone. So I'm going to go 3-0 Forest.
Oh, yeah. I can see it being a 2-1, 3-1.
Yeah.
Do you want to say about your socials?
Yeah, everyone, come over, subscribe to Ads, follow my Twitter. She's just here. Plenty of stuff coming up, vlogs, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, look forward to that. And of course, subscribe to Dan the Man himself, Talk Forest TV.
Thank you. Obviously, let's just do some quality stuff. So,
I
do
do. It's been certified now, so you got to come over and subscribe. You got to do it.
quality certified.
Absolutely.
Right. So I'd like to say thank you for coming on, lads.
Yeah, no problem. Up the Reds.
Up the Reds. Do hit the channels and do subscribe and come on the Forest.